So I've put together this basic multi-level marketing training to share with you guys. And let's run through that quickly. So why do you want to choose multi-level marketing as your business? Now, the reason why we do this is because many of you are sitting in a position where you might be considering making MTI your focus now, because your company's maybe has gone under, or you have joined from another network market, whatever the reason may be, right? The reason why you want to focus on something like MTI as a business is because the low investment to get started, right? Where else can you start a company essentially for free? Okay, that is the first thing. Where are you going to find a company that's going to trade on your behalf for free? Okay, so MLM businesses are not huge startup capital. If you want to start any other conventional business, small to medium enterprise, direct sales, whatever it may be, it's a lot of money. So there's low overhead costs. You don't have to pay rent and staff and hosting for websites and all that kind of stuff. MTI carries all of the operational costs for the company. You are literally a member. This is quite funny. I'm saying flexible hours, but I haven't really been doing flexible hours. I feel like everybody owns my time at the moment, so I'm going to have to do some time management. But MLM does give you time freedom. Network marketing means that you can do your own thing at your own pace. I mean, I retired by the time I was 32, and I spent 90% of my time with my children. So for me, that was the most valuable element I was getting from my network marketing business. It's a great time to income ratio. Guys, if you've never done your time to income ratio, please do it. If you're working for a boss, take your income, divide it by the amount of days you work, divide that by the amount of hours you work, and figure out how much you are worth an hour. And if you're happy with that number, then go for it. But if you're not, get out. Okay, very important. A great time, you get to meet a lot of people. Let me tell you, this is one of the best things about network marketing. I love that I get to meet new people, and that's something that's also, for me as a social person, something that's very, very uplifting, because I've met some incredible people in this industry. Oh, I thought I got kicked off again. Sure, I was nervous. Okay, the collective effort as an earning component. When you're in a business, you'll find that you are responsible for everything. Whereas with network marketing, that responsibility is shared. We all help one another. Everybody works towards a common goal. Everybody seems to feel like they have got some kind of support. And I think that's also something that's very important in this industry that we don't often give enough attention to. So when you start the company, start it right. Make sure that your expectations for your MLM business are rational, right? You're not going to sign up for MTI with $100 and then have $7 million by Friday, guys. That's not going to happen. You're not going to sign up with a $200 account, recruit a couple people, and earn what Clinton or Ignatius Bell is earning. These guys have been working the company for a year, and they've given it a lot of attention. So set your expectations. I always think that it's great to make your first goal 5 Bitcoin in your weaker leg. That's a good first goal to have. And how quickly you do that is completely up to you. Know your MLM product, service, and business plan. Guys, I see too many people coming to me saying their upline couldn't help them. You need to know what's going on in MTI. The information is freely available. We do these training calls. We do these presentations in your back office. There's a little rocket that you can click on. Then there's a YouTube channel that you can go and watch on how to fund your account. How does the opportunity meeting work? Lots of material available out there for you to learn about the product and the company. You want to find an MLM mentor who is already successful. And guys, that doesn't mean everybody was message me, because I'm not even that successful yet. I still need to grow. What was my weak leg Bitcoin on? Because we said we'd tell people.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. I did say everything. 1 sec.
Don't use that tone of voice with me.
Yeah. It is on 100.
So it was on 147.
It's on 164.
It's
165.
On 165 Bitcoin. So I've had it grow with like 20 Bitcoin. I did promise that I'd tell everyone. Okay, so use a personal development for MLM success. This is important, guys. You've got to get your head right. If you're not willing to learn new skills and move forward, then MLM is not the industry for you. You want to also then build up relationships on social media. A lot of people send me messages and they'll say to me, Sherry, how do you recruit people on Facebook? You know what? I've been recruiting on Facebook for 7 years. I have an established audience. I have an established market. I've established what I can achieve in this industry. Network marketing on social media is quite difficult. You've got to sing a message over and over and over again, and eventually it becomes synonymous with you, and then people follow you. but it's not something that happens very quickly. And then show up at your company events. Guys, you've got to come to these calls. You've got to get your people onto calls. You've got to learn new things. You've got to really get yourself involved with the company. It's not one of those things where you get dragged along. You've got to pull yourself along. It's very important. And then finally, you've got to follow up. Let me tell you, far too people drop the ball on following up. I can give you 20 people's details and you can send them information, but if you don't follow up with that person, you're not going to get any kind of success. Follow up is the downfall of every single network marketing failure that I've ever seen. It's always been found in the follow-up issues. Okay, let me just see. Let's get on. Okay, so here's what you need to know for recruiting, guys. The rest we've spoken about was MLM. The first thing is you need to make a decision. So you need to make a decision that this is what you're going to be doing with your time and that you will master this and you will not give up. Because if you are going to allow yourself to give up in this industry, you will lose. That I can promise you. Your family are going to tell you that you're crazy. Your husband's going to tell you you're crazy. Your wife's going to tell you you're crazy. But if you know what you know, what you know, what you know, and you know what, I must actually call my mom because she is here somewhere. I remember my first month in network marketing, I earned 1,700 Rand. Guys, there was such trouble in my house. My mom was livid with me. And she's actually here. I can call her for you to come and tell you the story. But I knew, regardless of what she said, regardless of what she thought at that moment, she didn't see the picture, but I knew where I was headed. And network marketing success requires that kind of tenacity. You need to know where you're going, and you need to block out everything else, have like a racehorse mentality and not allow anybody to steal your dream. That's essentially what it is. You've got to make up your mind and learn and develop your skills to be able to recruit. Recruiting is not something you're going to get right immediately. You're going to suck in the beginning, guys. Everybody sucks in the beginning. I had a woman, do you remember that woman at that coffee shop?
Oh, you threw the coffee.
Yeah, she threw the coffee. Clinton remembers that. We were trying to sign up a lady. And I can't even remember what happened, but she threw her coffee at me. That's how badly she didn't want to join my company, okay? But you've got to make up your mind, and you've got to get better at it. So it's a skill that you learn. And every time you speak to people and you hear from people what they're doing, you're going to learn new skills, okay? That is very, very important. You've got to make up your mind to pass your fear of talking to people and come out of your shell. And I always say this during my trainings. Tell yourself this. I eat no for breakfast. Don't be emotionally connected to what people tell you because they're only going to go as far as they can go. Don't be afraid of a no. Don't be afraid of the rejection. This isn't a marriage, guys. And we're going to chat about that in a second because my brother signed up. Oh, my MLM presentation. Sorry. Jartis is asking, is there meetings for people already investing to better yourself? I don't really want to go through startup sessions every week. Jartis, if you are not recruiting at least 10 people a week into your organization, or your team is not recruiting 10 people into their organization, then I don't think you can go on to the next level of your training. Unless you've got recruiting and building your business under your belt, I don't think there's much more than you can do. But in answering to your question, we have developed lots of training, which will be available not just in the back office, but we'll do them after these calls every single week as well. Would I mind sharing my MLM presentation? Yes, I will, guys. I will share it. Okay. Your decisions should be more significant than your fears and insecurities. We've spoken about that. And even if you're an introvert, guys, you need to make up your mind to make it a priority to build your organization. So when you join a network marketing company, especially like Mirror Trading International, the first phase that your business goes into is building. And if you do not do that properly, you never get out of the building phase of your organization. And this is what led to the conversation with me and my brother this weekend, or my brother and I, right? I said to him, Charles, you need to step out of your building phase of your organization. He has recruited 18 people into his organization, and he's got 34 Bitcoin in his weaker leg. All right. So he's recruited 18 people. In the last week, he has recruited R1 million worth of business into his organization. Okay. Worth of Bitcoin into his weaker leg. So now that tells me that he's got the building side. He's got that down. He knows how to build. Now what he needs to do is move over into empowering his 18 people that he's recruited in the organization. And now he becomes a leader where he empowers them to build. Okay. So that's the next step. Everybody on this call is in building phase, guys. All of us are in building phase in our businesses. You can't skip. Okay. You can't skip a level. If you don't have, I would say, at least 15 Bitcoin in your weaker leg that you're qualified on, you're still in building phase, brother. You're gonna have to recruit. Recruiting is not something that we can get away from. And at the end of this presentation, I'm going to share with you what Charles told me he's using to recruit those people and what's made him so successful. So I'll tell you at the end of this presentation. So you want to develop that recruiting mindset, okay? If you join a network marketing company, it means something drew you to it. There was something that you absolutely loved about the company. What was it with MTI? Was it the people? Was it the money that you're making off the trading? Was it the possibility of the income with the compensation plan, right? You need to recruit that, and you need to harness that thought of why you joined, and then you want to use that because that's your passion, and that passion's going to come through and people are going to pick that up. It is enough to motivate, to encourage you to develop an MLM recruiting mindset. Because you love that aspect so much, that's what drives the force, okay? So you should develop an entrepreneurial mindset. And here's a little tip that I can give you. Clinton has an Excel spreadsheet that he checks, I kid you not, every single day since he's joined the organization. And the spreadsheet, I must actually show you guys what it looks like. It's got how many columns? I think 3.
Yeah.
And every day he goes and he checks his weaker leg volume, and he puts his left leg volume in the one column and his right leg volume in the other column, and he records the Bitcoin price. So every single day he can see by how many Bitcoin his weaker leg has grown and by how many Bitcoin his stronger leg has grown. And he's monitoring the Bitcoin price at the same time. Now, I'm not saying that you need to do that. What I'm saying is I see how Clinton handles his Mirror Trading International business, and I promise you it's a business. He wakes up in the morning, he goes and has a shower, first he trains, then he showers, then he comes and sits down with his diary, makes a list of everything he needs to do today, the people he needs to call, the leaders he needs to connect with, and he literally conducts his day at his own pace with his own time, but he's got an entrepreneurial mindset. He thinks about his business as his business. That's how he thinks about it. And he promotes it as a business. He speaks to his people as the people in his business with him. It's an entrepreneurial finance mindset. And I think that creates momentum. It creates momentum, not just in one aspect of your life, but in everything, okay? Don't sound apologetic when you're speaking to somebody. Be brave. You don't have to beg anyone to join MTI. So let me make this very clear, guys. You don't have to beg anybody. If somebody doesn't want to make money, you cannot fight them to be successful. It's literally like somebody holding themselves under the water and drowning while you're trying to pull them out. It's ridiculous. You're going to expend so much energy. You're going to, don't be apologetic, and you don't have to beg anybody. Network marketing is a great way to build your confidence. Prospecting is something you're going to have to learn. And you can make it a full-time job. I do network marketing full-time. I don't do any other job. I don't run any other businesses anymore. This is what I do with my time. But it's all about having that mindset, a recruiting mindset. What phase of your business are you in? And then understanding that and doing what is required for that phase. You've got to have positive daily habits. And a lot of people look at this and they think that it's not important and that it's like pie in the sky information that's not vital for growth. Let me tell you, if you don't have a daily habit that creates structure when you're managing your own time, it's virtually impossible, guys. You've got to connect with your team every single day. You've got to develop and do your self-development every single day. Clinton and I do that when we sleep. We literally go to bed with positive affirmations next to our bed every single night. I only wake up when it changes over to the next one. But you've got to feed your body, you've got to feed your mind, and you've got to make sure that you are a slave to your positive habits, if I can put it as such. You need to be a slave to the process that you create for yourself to go through daily. Natalyn Lewis is a top network marketer, and I used to actually be in her team when I was a corporate trainer for Cinti Global. And I learned so much from her. She said to me that she didn't answer any messages or calls before 9 o'clock in the day, because during that day, she would actually fit in her training. She would go and do physical training like in a gym. And then she would literally just plan her day before 9 o'clock. And when 9 o'clock struck, that's when she picked up her phone and started working. She found that her phone was a distraction. She'd say if she would answer messages first thing in the morning, she'd see it like 2 hours later, she'd still be sitting in her PJs on the couch with her phone. So find what is stopping you from being productive and eliminate that. Maybe you need to not to have your phone next to your bed. Maybe you not need to have your phone on before 9 o'clock, that kind of stuff. So look at a daily habit and daily structure that is most productive for you. And then you need to implement that obviously every single day. Okay. This is what a daily to-do list looks like if you're on building phase of your business. All right. So the first thing is that you need to do is make a list. If you haven't made a list yet, make the list now. You'll be amazed at how many people you know that you didn't even think of. And then speak to your boyfriend or your friend or your girlfriend or your mom or your dad or family members or friends and ask them for people that they may know. At the end of the day, to build a list on average for somebody that's new in network marketing, 300 is the average number that the average network marketer can write down when they start a new network marketing company. And don't judge, guys. You don't know what that person's going through. Speak to them. If they say no, it's great. If they do, fantastic. We move on forward. You've got to connect with those people. You've got to send them information. You've got to close them, give them all the answers that they need for questions. And then you have to remember to follow up. So for your team and your business, you also need to make sure that you are checking your back office every day. I'm amazed that there are members that don't go into their back office for weeks on end. That is irresponsible. If you're building a network marketing company, even if you're just a trader with MTI, you should be checking your account every single day to know exactly what's going on. You should know what the trading profits were the day before, not because Clinton sent you a pretty picture with the numbers on it, but because you went and checked for it in your back office because you know where it is. You need to evaluate your strategy every day. And this is what happened with Charles over the weekend. I said to him, you can't carry on recruiting every single person. You've got to help the people that you have now to recruit. So you've got to reevaluate your strategy and grow with what your business determines, needs for you in that point. Right now, we're all in building phase. We all need to build. If you don't have a couple of Bitcoin in your weaker leg, you need to build, guys. That means making lists, connecting, sending info, and starting again. Making a list, connecting, sending info, start again. You've got to literally just keep at it. You've got to check your trades. Like I said, you've got to read up on Bitcoin. Learn something new every single day about Bitcoin, because you can use that when you speak to people. After a month, you would have acquired so much knowledge about cryptocurrency trading and Bitcoin that it's going to be impossible for people to say no to you because you're so knowledgeable. When you're knowledgeable, you are naturally confident. It's actually called the competence cycle. The more competent you become, the more confident you are. It's a psychological rule, actually. You want to connect with people in your team and obviously do your personal development. So this is what our day looks like, guys. Literally, I kid you not, this is what our day looks like. I must find a piece of paper to show you, because Clinton takes any paper he can find, doesn't matter what it is, and then here's a list. Let me show.
Oh, that's my numbers now.
Okay, I'm not going to show people the numbers. Okay, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I told you, here's a list, because we're sitting at the desk where we normally work. Here's Clinton's list. Zola is to sign up and pay. Clinton is to sign up and pay. It's obviously another Clinton. 12 p.m. Zoom, and then it says sign 5 people. 2 p.m. Zoom. Then it says help someone to buy chicken. What's that?
No, I'm just donating chicken to someone.
Okay. And then 6, it says gym. I kid you not. Here, guys, there's his list. And I see these lists lying everywhere. He makes those lists and then he follows them to the T for that day. He takes a second, and that is what makes him a top earner. It's that list, and then he follows it. I promise you, that is all he does. There's no secret. There really is no secret. You got to tell good stories. You've got to know about the guys that are doing well. You've got to have your own story. You must be able to retain and share information with people in your business. Go and have a look at the testimonials, because stories are undisputable. If I can tell you about how somebody's life has changed, that's not something that somebody can easily dispute. You know what I mean? It's something that really, really happened, and it's a feel good, gets serotonin levels going. So a story is always a great place to start when you are recruiting people. You've got to learn to listen and ask questions, and you've got to ask the right questions. And sometimes they're pointed questions, like how much do you want to earn in order for you to be financially free? But when you're asking people the right questions, it's like you care and you're taking an interest in what they have to offer. And I think that this industry is lacking people who care. They're lacking people that ask questions with a genuine intention of getting an answer. Okay, so this is very important. The best networkers in the world are excellent at asking their prospects the right questions. And that is an acquired skill. Okay, so if you start asking the right questions, you'll be able to understand them better, and you'll have a better approach to introducing your business opportunity. 97% of network marketers do this. This is why many of them fail, because they're not asking the right questions, guys. It's not about what you can do for me. It's what I can do for you. Listen to what their grievances are, what their struggles are, and that's where you want to build your pitch around. Finally is enthusiasm. You've got to be enthusiastic. I must tell you that if I've got a down day or I'm not feeling excited or happy about something, I don't answer my phone. I don't speak to anyone. If you're having a bad day, please don't go and try and recruit, because that energy, guys, rubs off on everybody that you're talking to. Now, a lot of people come to me and they go, I've tried recruiting so many times, and everybody comes to me and they're asking me, is it a pyramid scheme? Clinton once said to me, and it was a very, very difficult pill for me to swallow, but he was actually right. He said to me, your prospect will mirror. Is that what you said?
People don't do what you're trying to do.
Yeah, your prospect will mirror your insecurities. If you are getting the same objection from people that you are trying to recruit into an organization all the time, you need to go back and go and see what your insecurity is with the company. What are you worried about? What worries you as a member? Because often people pick up on that insecurity, and that is then the exact rejection that they receive. Often you'll feel people go, oh, I don't know if we're really trading. And then they'll struggle with questions about the trading, if that makes any sense, guys. MLM recruiting stars are always the most active and enthusiastic people. And it doesn't have to, note that it doesn't say happy, guys. It just means energetic. You've got to be confident. You've got to be vibrant. You've got to bring a positive energy to things. Because positivity and enthusiasm is infectious. People are attracted to people like that. People want to spend time with people who are not complaining and moaning, but people who have a plan and a drive and who have some kind of something that they're working towards. It is the spirit to have when you are a network marketer, so that people feel comfortable with you. They have a smile on their face when they think about you. So enthusiasm is the driving force behind all of this when your mind's right and you're doing your daily tasks like we chatted about. You've got to have a big dream. I've been chatting to a couple of my friends that are really, really struggling at the moment in the economic time that we're finding ourselves in. And I think that a lot of people are so worried about what's happening in the economy and with their finances at the moment that they're not dreaming. They're not even considering the possibility of success in the future because they are so stuck on what's going on around them right now. Don't be one of those people. When I moved in with my mom after I lost everything with my divorce, I don't actually remember what happened day to day because I didn't have my eyes about all the chaos around me. I had my focus on what was happening and what was happening in the future and what I was sure was going to happen. Because if you lower your eyes from where you are going and you focus on what's happening around you, you're going to go crazy, guys. I know that there's a lot of people sitting in really hectic situations at the moment, financially, spiritually, whatever it may be, socially. And if you're going to keep your eyes on everything falling and dying around you, you're going to lose sight of where you're going, and then you're going to get lost. So having a dream, having a vision, and knowing where you are going, doesn't matter how outrageous it is. That is the most important thing. You've got to have direction, because if you don't have direction, all of this is pointless. So if you haven't done a vision board, you haven't done your why, I don't care if you're one of those arty-farty people that doesn't believe in that, go and do it. You need to have direction. If you asked me 7 years ago, and I'm almost done, so I'll end off with this. When I met Clinton, I was living on my mom's porch. And Clinton and I was instantly in love with him. But we moved in together into a tiny apartment. It was a 2-bedroom apartment that you can barely fit a double bed into the bedrooms. Okay, it was tiny. And I remember, I'm a space person. We have big personalities, so being in a confined space was quite tough, especially with 2 toddlers at the time. And I remember him saying to me, we're going to have a house on the hill. And my eyes were on what was going around us. It was tough. I didn't see that. Today, 7 years later, we live in one of the highest points in Johannesburg. We have that house on the hill. And when I stand by my pool, I can see the apartment that we used to live in. But he had that dream. He had that vision. And it seemed ridiculous to me at the time. But because he had the dream, he had direction. So please don't ever underestimate the value of knowing where you are going. That's probably the most important thing with recruiting, because it gives you fire. It gives you a fire that not having any direction doesn't ever help with. Then I want to say this, and I might offend some people with this slide. I didn't know how to do this. I went and spoke to my brother Charlie, because he's not a network marketer, right? But he has had phenomenal results. And I said to him, I don't understand. What are you doing? Everybody's going to ask me what you are doing to recruit people. And you're going to have to tell me, because I need to train people. So teach me, because I'm not doing what you're doing. I'm getting results, but you're doing something that is amazing. Recruiting R1 million into your weaker leg, that is give or take $80,000 into your weaker leg. Okay. I mean, that is crazy. That's 6 Bitcoin that he himself personally recruited into his business in a week. Okay. That's amazing. And this is what he said to me. He said, Sherry, when I was working for Discount, they used to give us sales training, and they said that there are 2 types of clients in this world. Let me just see what's happening on here. Okay, everyone's still all right. Nobody's complaining yet. Okay. And he said this to me. He said, Sherry, when I'm speaking to people, they're going to be one of 2 clients. Now, you have to know my brother's not married, okay, but lots of girls like him. So this was already getting me a bit nervous. He said, you're going to have clients that are going to want a marriage, and you're going to have clients that are going to want a one-night stand. And I nearly died, because I have 2 daughters, so I needed to get them to close their ears, because we don't really talk like that in our house, okay? He said, the clients who want to marry you need to know a ridiculous amount of information. They need to know where you are headed with your future, and it is a huge commitment for them, and it is a lot of work, a lot of energy. He says it takes long, and it's draining. He says then you get the clients that are happy to have a one-night stand. He says they are the ones that everybody knows what they're getting into. You're giving them enough information to make an informed decision. They are a responsible adult. You are a responsible adult. You're sharing information. They are deciding how they react on that information, and they make a decision. It's not this long, drawn-out process. It's a process whereby you're getting the information, you get what you need, and you get out. And he says that's how he is approaching the people that he's signing up into his organization. He's saying to them, I'm making money with MTI. The company is trading for me. I don't have to do it. Do you want to do the same thing? That's literally what he's doing. And they're going, yes, are you FSB registered? And he says, he literally just goes, no, we're not. We're not within the ambit of the FSB. Do you want to register? Do you want to make money too? And he says that he gets to a point where he realizes with a recruit that they're looking for a marriage. It's not what he's looking for, and he moves on. And that's how he was able to do this. He says his intention is for everyone to agree that this is an independent decision that they make. And everybody understands the terms. if you have a member that joins the organization, yes, you have to show them and teach them, but you are not responsible for them, guys. I think that's always important. Give enough information for them to make a decision, no more. Your prospect will find what they are looking for. And we spoke about this during the presentation before. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for saying this, but I must say, if a prospect sends you a negative report about MTI, or they ask you if it's a pyramid scheme, 90% of the time it's because they don't want to join and they're looking for some kind of reason to justify for them choosing failure over success. And in essence, that's what it is. People that don't join a great opportunity like MTI, it's because they're choosing failure, but they can't say that. So they've got to find something else. Or they're on the other side where they just don't see it. And then you've got to decide if you want to take the time to obviously explain it to them until they do. But Charles's advice, and this is what he said, is he is not looking for a marriage. He's looking for a one-night stand. He's looking for red personality types. I give you the information. I tell you how it's worked for me. That's it. Make a decision. And that confidence, that power, that enthusiasm, and that energy has resulted into him signing up 6 Bitcoin into his weekly leg. So I might not necessarily agree with this approach, but I cannot argue that it's been successful. And maybe that's what some of you need. Maybe some of you are giving too much information. Maybe you're vomiting on your prospects. That's not important. You want to be that's not good. You want to be to the point. You want to be clear. You want to be concise, and you want to expect action. Don't give somebody information with no expectation. The information is given to you because I expect a decision. So I'm hoping that that helps and that makes some kind of sense to you guys. What you need to remember with your business is that you are in control. Nobody is responsible for your success in network marketing, guys. If somebody comes to you and they tell you, oh, I've tried that and it didn't work. No, you didn't work for it. There's a difference. Because if it's worked for one person, it means it's possible. So I'll end off with this. While I was talking to Charles at the same time, I said to him, you know what, I'm really struggling with people that are giving me a hard time in the business, and people that are giving me a hard time, you know, because I'm a little outspoken sometimes. And he said to me, Sherry, remember this. And this is another thing that he learned in his training at Discam. He says, people are going to look at you and they're going to have 2 reactions to you. The first reaction is going to be, why her? Okay. The second reaction is going to be, that could be me. And you as a person need to decide which one you are. When you see somebody who does phenomenally great and they are very, very successful, then you need to ask yourself, are you looking at them going, oh, that could be me? Or are you looking at them going, why them? Because if you're one of those people that's doing the why them, you're going to fail at everything you do because it's a reaction instead of believing in yourself and knowing that if that person can do it, then you can too. So I'll end off with this. Clinton Marks is one of our top earners in MTI. I've got some news though. He is almost being beaten by Ignatius Bell. Him and Ignatius are like this. 1 week Clinton's ahead, 1 week Ignatius is ahead. 1 week Clinton's ahead, 1 week Ignatius is ahead. And what I love about Ignatius Bell is this. It's the first time I spoke to him. He said to me, I think he was earning like 1/5 of what Clinton was earning at the time. And this was in October last year. And I thought to myself, this oak is never going to catch Clinton. Now they are neck and neck. Because when he looked at Clinton, he didn't go, oh, he wasn't jealous. There was no jealousy. He was inspired. And that pushed him to work harder. And now they're literally doing this every single week. So guys, I think you want to manage your emotions. You want to make sure that you've got a positive mindset. You want to decide that you're going to recruit, realize what phase of your business you are in. You want to make sure that you're doing your daily dedicated action, personal development, do your affirmations, write your lists. That's what the top earners are doing. They're writing lists. So go and write your lists. Make sure that you are helping people to grow their organizations with enthusiasm and confidence. that you understand what part of the business you are in, and that you eat no for breakfast. I hope that you guys learned something. I felt a little bit all over the place tonight. I'm not going to lie. I'm exhausted. My brain is mush. I see you guys are asking for the presentation. Let me quickly help you guys by just loading that on here for you.